Greetings and welcome to Time About the Movies Flashback. Today we are flashing back to May 16th, 1986, which, as of the day I'm recording, this is actually 40 years ago today. Today is May 16th, 2026 as I'm recording this, so these are the movies that came out 40 years ago, and there was no bigger movie in 1986 than the first film that we have here, Tom Cruise and Kelly McGillis in Top Gun.
Paramount Pictures presents...
Just want to serve my country, be the best fighter pilot in the Navy, sir.
The finest.
For 5 weeks, you're going to fly against the best fighter pilots in the world.
The fastest.
Every time you go up in the air, you're unsafe.
That's right.
The bravest.
What you do up there, it's dangerous.
A movie about being the best.
Figured it out yet? What's that? Who's the best pilot?
Tom Cruise, Kelly McGillis, Top Gun, rated PG.
Ah, yes, the movie that made us feel the need for speed. It had one of the greatest soundtracks of all time. But we'll touch on that as we move along here. This is, of course, the original Top Gun, the big, unexpected hit that really kind of came out of nowhere. It was part of a very strong year for Paramount Pictures, where at one point they had the top movie at the box office for nearly a year. I mean, there was a run in between this time period with Top Gun, Crocodile Dundee, Star Trek, The Golden Child, Critical Condition. It was a long period of time where they had the top film, and this was one of the biggest hits of not only the year, but of the 80s in general. The story is that you have Tom Cruise as Lieutenant Pete Maverick Mitchell, a young naval aviator aboard the aircraft carrier USS Enterprise. He and his radar intercept officer, Lieutenant Junior Grade Nick Goose Bradshaw, played by Anthony Edwards, are given the chance to train at the United States Navy's Fighter Weapons School at Naval Air Station Miramar in San Diego, California. Kelly McGillis, Val Kilmer, Tom Skerritt, James Tolkien from Back to the Future, Meg Ryan, among the many people in this movie in particular. John Stockwell was also in here as well. Tim Robbins, one of his early film roles. Adrian Pasdar. So there is a lot of notable names all throughout this movie. And, when I talked about Top Gun Maverick, that was one of the big surprises of the decade, not just for the fact that it was a good movie, but it was way better than the original film, because let's be honest, the original film really isn't all that great. I mean, it does have its place in history, and it's not a bad movie, but it's not this grand cinematic masterpiece I think people gave it credit for. It's a good movie, not a great movie, but it's a film that I think works because the soundtrack to the movie has more of a legacy to it than the actual movie does. I mean, come on, a soundtrack that includes Kenny Loggins at his absolute best in terms of soundtracks. I mean, Danger Zone, Playing with the Boys. You also have Take My Breath Away. There's classic songs in there like You've Lost That Love and Feeling, Great Balls of Fire. I mean, there is a lot of good moments in the movie that use the soundtrack to its advantages. And like I said, this movie isn't bad. Even if, as I said in the last couple of years, that Top Gun Maverick maybe isn't the greatest movie of all time like I made it out to be when it first came out. It's still a good movie. It's nothing against these movies whatsoever. I definitely think the first movie is the lesser of the two movies in general. Top Gun Maverick is definitely the better of the two films, but this film is just pure 80s, man. I mean, yeah, it's a film that doesn't make a whole lot of sense in terms of its story, has a lot of, propaganda for the American propaganda, but then again, this was the Reagan era, so yeah, it made sense to have lots of movies like this. I mean, for God's sakes, the year before, one of the biggest hits was Rambo First Blood Part 2, but, I digress. But yeah, this movie is fun. It's a good, fun movie overall. Is it the swinging masterpiece that I think people make it out to be? No, definitely not. What did I say before? Swinging masterpiece. Sweeping masterpiece is probably what I should have said. But yeah, it's weird. This movie, it's interesting because this film was the biggest success of 1986, but because the film didn't get the best reviews when it came out, it's kind of had this retrospective reappraisal of it that's kind of made it a cult classic, which is hard to say for a movie that was the biggest hit of the year, but I mean, I don't know. It's a weird phenomenon with this movie in general. Like I said, it's a good movie, but it's no Top Gun Maverick. I think Top Gun Maverick overall is the best of these two movies, much better than this film was. The soundtrack, I think, is more memorable than the film itself, so there you go. Not much more to say about Top Gun, but let's go ahead and move on to the other movie that came out this weekend that you probably did not see, Alan Alda's latest film, Sweet Liberty.
Universal Pictures presents Alan Alda,
Smell my shirt. Thanks, I'm not into that.
Michael Caine,
I'm beginning to get the hang of this now.
Michelle Pfeiffer,
How many times a day does she make love?
3 times a day, together in a summer of madness.
I have to talk to Leslie. Go ahead.
by Alan Alda. Rated PG. Sneak preview tomorrow night. Check.
Or as the dude from the Liberty Mutual commercial would call it, Sweet Liberty Bibbity. But Sweet Liberty, this is Alan Alda's second feature film after directing after the Four Seasons 5 years prior, and the first major movie he's directed since MASH ended 3 years prior. After selling the rights of his books to a movie production company, a writer, played by Alder, finds himself finding the many egos and varying views around him. Dr. Michael Burgess teaches history at a college in Sayville, North Carolina, and beyond his research, teaching, and writing, his life is preoccupied by fencing, attending to his delusional mother Cecilia, and navigating a relationship with literature professor Gretchen Carlson. She's resisting his request to move in together, while he can see that he probably wants to get married instead. She probably wants to get married instead. Because of the authenticity and locations, the Hollywood movie crew descends on the town to film a version of Michael's novel Sweet Liberty. He proud of its, again, IMDb and these weird synopses. It's like, people, do your proofreading before you do this. I'm going to try to read it the best I can here. Sweet Liberty. He's proud of its historical accuracy and its accessibility to readers who may not be familiar with the American Revolution. I'm just going with that. While moving, most in town become starstruck in all that the movie means. The one notable exception is Michael, upon discovering the script has little to nothing to do with his book, including not being historically accurate. Screenwriter Stanley Gould, known for being a hack after Michael's assistance in rewriting the script, is seeing it as his transition to the A-list, and as such being the liaison to those that matter, namely director Bo Hodges and stars Elliot James and Faith Healy. Okay, so I'm just going to stop there, because the pronunciations in this and the spelling errors, just like, people, proofread these things before you put them on IMDb. I mean, I can't even say my stuff the right way, and even I'm looking at this and going like, people, it's not that hard to proofread and spell check. But yeah, this is a movie that I did not even knew I see what I mean. I can't even talk right now. This is a movie that I didn't even know even existed until last week. But I finally got to see it, and it's all right. It's not one of Alan Alda's better movies he directed. I mean, it's better than the worst thing he's directed, which was Betsy's Wedding and A New Life. And I have seen the Four Seasons because I watched the show on Peacock recently, and that was actually a pretty good movie. But this one's not quite as good, but it has a good cast to it. You see Alan Alda in there with Michael Caine, Michelle Pfeiffer, Bob Hoskins is in this movie. This is one of the last films that Lillian Gish did before she died. Saul Rubinek, Lynn Thigpen. So there is a solid cast involved in this movie. It's a good movie. It's a comfort food type of movie. It's a film that you don't go into and expecting a whole lot of big stuff here in general, but it does deliver what it promises. I think it is a very solid film. I think it's a very entertaining film. Yeah, it's definitely one I'd recommend checking out if you haven't seen it. If you liked the Four Seasons, you'll definitely enjoy it enough. It's not one of his better movies that Alan Alda's done as a director, but it's better than his later stuff overall, so yeah. Quick review on that one, not much more to say about that one. Sweet Liberty. In fact, most of my review was me trying to read this spelling error-filled synopsis on IMDb. But there you go. I recommend Sweet Liberty. And thus, with all that said, we wrap up another episode of Time About the Movie's Flashback. We'll flashback to May 9th of 1986 with Short Circuit, Fire with Fire, and Dangerously Close. So we'll take a look at those three movies. Obviously, Short Circuit was the biggest of the new releases, and the biggest surprise of the new releases because it's a movie with a talking robot and a white actor who's playing an Indian character, and yet it was surprisingly really charming and fun. Who knew? The 1980s for you. What can I say? But with all that said, thank you so much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe button, notification button. Check out our last episode we did, as well as our playlist. And I'll see you guys next time. So until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.